Hello, my name is Peter Solikides. I am with Southern Cryonics, the project to build and operate the first cryonics facility in Australia.
This is the first of a series of videos we plan to produce. In this particular video, we will discuss briefly how you would join a cryonics organization. In subsequent videos, we will discuss what happens at the time of your suspension. Another video will be covering what the vision for your future is with Southern Cryonics. Joining a cryonics organization.
Let's get started. The decision to be cryonically suspended is a big one for many reasons. It appears quite expensive, costing around $150,000, but with life insurance this can be quite affordable. It also concerns death, and this is always a very scary subject. Of course, if you think about cryonics, the whole idea is to make death not so scary. Cryonics involves the possibility of suspending your body and then reviving it at a future time.
You will probably hear me say this many times through this series of videos, but there are no guarantees in cryonics. There is, however, a reasonable chance. Many scientists believe this. If you look at our website, you will see references to these. Of course, many scientists also do not believe that it is possible, but again, we need to think in time frames of 250 years, and not too many scientists will stake their reputation on what may be possible in 250 years. Most, when giving an opinion, are thinking in the next 20 or so years. I cover this in a little bit more detail in a subsequent video, but let me say there is a lot of money, in the order of hundreds of billions of dollars, being spent on scientific developments which are at their early phase now, but which have the capability of providing all the developments necessary for cryonics in the future. These include billions of dollars spent in medicine and science to cure diseases and extend life, computer technology improvements, nanotechnology, cloning, brain preservation techniques, and a host of others. All the cryonics organization has to do is make sure that you are suspended in a way that makes recovery feasible in the future.
So how do you join a cryonics organization like Southern Cryonics? Let me run through steps a typical member takes. Let's call this person Peter, which just so happens to be my name. But let's assume that Peter is in his early 40s, which is obviously not my age, but is more typical of the age of new members.
Peter hears about cryonics and is very interested. He has heard, though, that it is very expensive and also quite difficult to set up. After putting off a few times, he finally makes his mind to at least make some inquiries and find out a little bit more. He looks at the website and then sends a fairly short email saying he's interested to a cryonics organization like Southern Cryonics. He gets a reply very quickly, always a good sign, and shows this organization is professional and efficient, especially as they may be looking after him for the next 250 years. The reply is short and to the point. It explains the cost will be $150,000. If Peter is insurable, payment can be made by life insurance, which will cost, at his age, about $33 a month, or about $400 per year. Life insurance is the typical payment method, and this is only an estimate based on other members. Life insurance is handled by certified life insurance professionals. They will give more exact quotes based on age and health. If he is not insurable, there are other methods that can finance his suspension, but these need more explanation if he wishes to discuss further. There is also a membership subscription fee of $350 per year. In total, the cost of estimated life insurance and the membership fee is about $63 a month, or about $750 a year. Southern Cryonics has a facility in Holbrook and has a web page where you can obtain further information. Southern Cryonics is linked with Cryopath, a separate organisation but a sister organisation, which can handle all the standby at the hospital bed, stabilisation and transportation that is needed. This will cost more, but should be able to be covered in the life insurance policy. As an aside, I'll be covering standby, stabilisation and transportation in a separate video. Southern Cryonics informs Peter that if he wants more information, they can either chat on the phone or trade emails. They will leave it to Peter to take the next steps if he wants. That was less painful than Peter thought. Having said that, Cryonics is not something you can make on a spur-of-the-moment decision. You need more information. You need to think it over for a while. The email from Southern Cryonics raised more questions in Peter's mind. After a couple more emails, Peter learnt how he could get life insurance, how Cryopath works, and what is standby, stabilisation and transportation all about. So at his age, it costs about $63 a month or $750 a year. Peter considers all this. On one side, he can go the sure route and save the $63 a month. Cryonics is not for everyone. Many people go this way. They believe they only want to live the normal lifespan, whatever that is, 75 to 85 years old. Peter, though, is optimistic about the future and believes $63 a month is worth a chance to live an extremely long life. He goes ahead with joining Southern Cryonics. He finds he is insurable and the life insurance is relatively easy to set up after going through the standard vetting process with a life insurance organisation. He nominates Southern Cryonics as his beneficiary. That way, Southern Cryonics are paid at the time of his suspension. Southern Cryonics sends Peter membership and agreement forms, and he is helped by them to work his way through it. Southern Cryonics also says that with appropriate notice he can always pull out if he wishes. Most, however, don't. When he is satisfied with it and it covers his requirements, he signs it and gets it witnessed. Then he returns it to Southern Cryonics. Southern Cryonics then registers him, sends him appropriate identification tags and other relevant material to make sure that when the time comes for his suspension, it will all go smoothly.
I've covered this fairly briefly here. I know you have many other questions, but again, that is what we are here to try to answer. Usually, the answers are not any more complicated than what I have covered here. Thanks for your time in watching this video.